morning. I'm Nick Coutreau, the creator of the ProPalate training system and the author of the book Cigar Bliss. I'm here this morning with Jochy Blanco with La Palma cigars in my quest to demystify the art of taste. I want to thank Jochy for having me here today. Jochy has been in the cigar business for over 40 years as a tobacco grower and a tobacco blender. He's created some of the finest blends in the industry and has been given some of the highest awards for his achievement. Jochy is going to help me with my quest in demystifying the art of taste. Jochy, thanks for having me today.
It's a pleasure, Nick. After many years that we met, and you doing different things all the time. It's an interesting project.
Jochy, when I met you back in the mid-90s, just prior to the cigar boom, the way most cigar smokers, including myself, described a cigar was either light body, medium body, or full body. Or we said it's a good cigar, not so good cigar, or a great cigar. Then a magazine was released called Cigar Aficionado. In that magazine, they had cigar reviews where they used taste associations to describe a cigar. What was your initial reaction to this way of describing a cigar?
Was probably one of the first time that those kind of flavor were transmitted to the consumers, but really in our factories we knew about many of those flavors that they're talking, and that was normal in our places. Sweetness, coffee, chocolate, rice, those flavors were common that we play with those in our farm, our warehouse. We were used to many of those flavors, but probably we cannot have the power to transmit to consumers many of those.
I see.
But really, we were used to work with them.
Okay. Let's fast forward 25 years. What are your thoughts today in the way cigars are described? And has it changed the way you approach blending and making cigars?
Well, blending, also those flavors that consumers or magazines describe are more popular today. Those flavors really came from the farm. For we have all those flavors, the tobacco has to be grown in perfect conditions. The flavors begin in the farm, with the land, the microclimate, the ingredients the fertilizantes. That's important for the flavor that those tobacco we have in 4 or 5 years after we make the cigars are really important.
Interesting. Do you feel that having the ability to detect and identify taste associations can enhance a cigar smoker's experience?
Of course. It's noting all the flavors, you can really appreciate more a cigar, a lot more. You have the ability, or you can teach on that. Of course, you will appreciate really what is a good cigar.
What advice would you give a new cigar smoker that wants to develop his palate?
It's a little difficult on that because every person has different tastes, but and a good cigar would be a good cigar for any kind of different tastes of the people, of the consumers, and also not so good cigars also people will know it really.
What tips or techniques can you offer a seasoned cigar smoker that wants to get the most enjoyment out of his cigar?
A cigar must have a clean taste, really. Clean taste normally became from well fermented and aged tobacco. Uh, in my mouth, I mainly recognize smooth, clean taste, sweetness, some nuts flavors, uh, sometimes chocolate taste. And for me, those are the main components of a good taste. Okay. But clean is the most important. Clean with some strange.
Interesting. Of all the cigars you've blended in your career, which one stands out as exceptional in terms of aroma, taste, and flavor characteristics, and how are you able to achieve that?
For we create a really good blend or taste, we mainly go normally to the best seed that we grow. And the best seed, everybody knows, there's not so many. It's like the wine, how many grapes you have made really excellent wine. I don't think maybe 7, 8 different. In the tobacco it's the same. We have like 4, 5 seeds that we can create really good blends. The most important for me for create those blends is the combination of same seed and different areas. Why? Because sometimes we grow some seed in La Canela, Jacagua, and we can do the same work with them on the same treatment, and the taste of those seeds in different areas, the same seed, are different. Sometimes one area has more strength, other is more sweet, more clean, and when we mix, we play with those tobacco, we can create a better combination of taste.
Interesting.
More friendly, I think better quality, playing with that.
Earlier, we were discussing how the way a tobacco plant is nurtured and how important it is to the final product that it's going to give you. Would you share with our viewers what we discussed regarding raising that tobacco from a tiny seed the size of a grain of salt into a large plant in 90 to 120 days that's going to produce aroma and taste characteristics that are going to excite cigar smokers?
A tree is like a child. We have to take care, giving, like I told before, all the nutrients that the plants need, not overdoses, because if we make a mistake in any overdoses, we change the flavor. Also, the trees need at some moment some stress for they create their own flavors and their own characteristic.
Interesting.
Yes, it's incredible how smart are the trees on the natural. It's really smart.
So creating a little bit of stress at the right moment and the right amount will cause that tobacco plant to take on different characteristics or stronger characteristics.
Yes, of course.
So timing is critical.
Yes, it has to be the right amount of stress. Not so much, no.
And it has to be at the right moment, not in the early growing stage, not in the late. It has to be somewhere in the middle. Where
yes, it has to be a couple of times during the crop.
Interesting. So you guys are like scientists out in the tobacco fields. The only difference, you're not wearing a white lab coat, you're wearing a guayabera.
Yes.
Jochy, have you ever given someone a cigar that you thought was a great blend and they didn't care for it, or vice versa?
Many times,
Many times.
Many times.
And what would you say the reason was?
There's a combination of reasons. Probably some people are used to smoke some kind of tobacco, some kind of cigars, and when they make a change, they're not used, so they don't found the good characteristic of those tobacco. That's one of the reasons, I think. Other probably does not know how to smoke, really.
What would you say is the biggest mistake that a cigar smoker makes in terms of smoking in a way that doesn't allow the cigar to offer what it really has to offer?
One of the mistake I think we did, or the industry did at some point, is use some young tobacco because that confuse the consumers, or not really well fermented. Many consumers, when they smoke no aged tobacco, the first sensation is the strength. Oh, so much pepper, and only the strength. And at some point, some consumers like that strength, but that is not at the end what most of the people will enjoy of a cigar.
Interesting. Earlier, I showed you the ProPalate training system, and we calibrated your palate using this system. What would you like to share with our viewers regarding this kit?
It's really interesting. It's the first time I saw something like that. Like I told you before, it's really nice, and I think it will help many people for begin and to be better smokers, or make a difference about different cigars. And also, I think people that does not smoke, I was telling you, like, for example, people that work in chef and people that love cuisine, we can be really good on and make distinction of also flavors easily.
What I'd like to do is take one of your cigars and see if we can decode it using the ProPalate kit.
Let's do.